In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to be a healthier alcoholic. Yes, I did say alcoholic and healthy in the same sentence. I do understand alcohol is a poison, but there are ways we can drink it and help mitigate some of the damages it has on our body or to our lives. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dabes. I am a personal trainer and health coach, and I also come from a long line of alcoholics. A lot of people in my family were alcoholics. It's kind of debatable whether I'm considered an alcoholic. Some people say I am. Some say, no, Dabes, you're good. You're not an alcoholic. Regardless, I will admit that I drink more often than I should. So, like I said, a lot of people in my family were very successful and healthy as alcoholics. Others, it ruined their lives. So we have to figure out which kind of alcoholic we want to be. You understand? Yeah, I've had family that have gotten drunk and frozen in blizzards, or just drank too much and just let the alcohol eat away at their body until they died. So I'm going to go over what we can do to make sure we're not those people. We want to be the healthy, successful people that can also enjoy alcohol, whether it's on a frequent basis or just now and then. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is hydration. The problem with a lot of alcoholics, why they age poorly and have health issues, is because they are chronically dehydrated. Alcohol will dehydrate you if you're not taking the steps to make sure your hydration is good. All right, so what do? I drink 2 liters of water with electrolytes in it before I even touch any alcohol. So if you're one of those people that wake up shaky in the morning and need alcohol just to function, you're straight up drunk. Probably alcohol is not for you. You should seek help, because it's not sustainable over a long period of time, and you're going to end up dying. So like I said, 2 liters before you even have your first drink of alcohol. And then after you are drinking, before you go to bed, you need to have an additional liter of water. You don't want to go to bed with no water in your body. You're going to wake up and you're going to feel like absolute crap, more than you would if you would have had a liter with some electrolytes before sleeping. So that has for hydration before and after drinking. And then secondly, we want to avoid excess caffeine while we're drinking alcohol. So stay away from all those like Red Bulls and Jaeger bombs, or even drinking a lot of coffee while you're consuming alcohol, because what that caffeine does is it flushes that out of your body. You're going to have a lot of fluid loss, which is going to lead to more dehydration and a worse experience. Last thing for hydration, when we're having mixed drinks, when we're putting liquor in whatever mixer we want to choose soda water or something with a lot of ice in it. We don't want to be using pop or any of these other sugary mixtures. We want to at least make sure we're having some water while we're drinking, whether that's in form of carbonated water or just a lot of ice cubes. And that's it for the first part of the strategy of hydration. And we're going to move on to the next topic now. Next up, we have beer or liquor, or are we going to drink both? Regardless of which one you pick, or if you're drinking both, there is a correct choice when making this decision. When it comes to liquor, you're going to want to stick with clear liquors. That includes tequila, vodka. There might be more. I usually stick with tequila, reason being every pure tequila is going to be pretty much exactly about 100 calories, maybe a little less. This is going to make it easier for you to track your calories. Whenever you're drinking, you have to be very conscious about your calorie intake, because they can really add up. You got to make sure that we are not being in a calorie surplus. Otherwise, we're going to get fat, and being fat isn't healthy, and it's not good. We don't want to be fat. So count your calories when you're drinking. Secondly, for liquor, when we're doing mixes or mixers, you want 0-calorie mixers. So yeah, maybe some soda water, some lime juice. Stay away from anything with sugar or artificial sweeteners. Those are also toxic to the liver and kidneys. So let's keep it with real 0-calorie mixers. As far as rules when it comes to taking shots, like if you're not doing a mixer, for the first hour you're drinking 2 shots for that first hour, no more. And then for every hour following, you can take 1 shot per hour. While you're in between, if you're, taking a bunch of shots that night, in between shots, have a mixer, something with a lot of liquid or ice in it so that you're hydrating with some water throughout the night in between your shots. Next, we're going to move on to beer. And the selection of beer matters absolutely the most when it comes to drinking. And this is how people get super fat and ruin their lives. Uh, if you're going to make a beer selection, go with a light beer. Most light beers are typically around 100 calories, so it makes it easier to track if you think about things like, a Michelob Ultra, something like that. But if you want to get even more specific and more health conscious when selecting a beer, you want to select a beer maybe imported from Europe, a place like Germany or Italy. I recommend German. I love German beer. They're the most autistic when it comes to the regulations that they put on their beer. They're making sure it's, made with organic materials. And this is the main reason why we want to kind of stay away or be extra cautious when choosing our beer, especially if it's from somewhere like America or Mexico. Reason being, most beers are made with malt grains, specifically barley, the majority of them. The reason why this is so dangerous is because they use glyphosate, which is a weed killer. It's been talked a ton about the news with, side effects when that glyphosate comes in rainwater, goes into ponds or rivers, and it actually turns the frogs gay. And I'm fairly certain it's doing it to some of these humans as well. If you observe these people that drink a lot of these IPA beers, these American IPA beers, they've turned into quite feminine men. Some of them even developing female characteristics of like a pregnant woman, bitch titties, pot belly. The things they talk about, they're turning gay. There's a reason why we got so many more gay people walking around these days, and it's directly related to the use of this weed killer glyphosate in our agriculture. So I really encourage you to select a European beer. It's going to avoid you from being gay, your kids from, developing those mental health issues. So stay away from these bad IPA beers. That's not even real beer. And yeah, as far as beer versus liquor, that's what you need to know. All right, guys, next we're going to be talking about food pairing. Say we want to have a heavy night of drinking or multiple drinks. You have to understand that even if you're using these 0-calorie mixers, this drink with one shot in it is still going to be 100 calories. So that means we have to be very particular with how many calories we eat throughout the day so that we don't become in a calorie surplus. We want to be at maintenance level or even a deficit. So we're going to have to focus on our macronutrients, our essential ones, which are fat and protein. So I know a lot of people will say, oh, what about the carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are not an essential macronutrient. They're nice to have because we need that to make glycogen efficiently, but we can also make glycogen through fat and protein through a process called glyconeogenesis. So for the days we're drinking heavy, we're going to avoid the carbs because they're not efficient because of the amount of calories they have. So we're going to avoid the carbs and the sugar and just focus on hitting those protein and fat goals for, to maintain muscle, for protein synthesis, and also maintain our hormones with the fat. Our essential fats are very important. So you're going to want to stick to lean cuts of meat like chicken. And for fat, we want to get that from eggs. It's also going to give us some protein, or maybe sardines. Anything that is healthy, whole foods that don't have a ton of calories, but a high amount of protein or essential fats that are healthy. And next, when we're drinking, as we all know, we have the tendency to go to Taco Bell or fast food directly after. We have to be strong. We have to avoid those cravings. So we're going to have to switch to different alternatives that are a lot healthier for you. Like, see right here, say I'm drinking and I pair my drink with, instead of a burger, bread, fries, Taco Bell, fast food, I pair my drink with this. Look at that. We got some rabbit food right here with some low-calorie honey mustard. Almost came right there. This is still good, you know. You can still learn to enjoy yourself while you're eating a healthier option. So pair your foods after you get your protein in. Pair your drink with something that takes up a lot of volume in your stomach, like vegetables, you know, carrots, cauliflower, broccoli. These take up a lot of room in your stomach and give you that feeling where you're full, even though you haven't had a ton of calories. So stick to whole foods and raw vegetables, even cook them, whatever. I like to eat raw carrots, broccoli with any low calorie sauce that I enjoy. So that has it for food pairing. Be strong. Stay away from getting that Taco Bell or McDonald's after a long night of drinking. It's going to help a lot. All right, last thing we're going to talk about, and possibly the most important, we're going to talk about the detox protocol. Yes, when you drink alcohol, it damages every single organ in your body. Specifically, these five are the most important to keep an eye on. First one we're going to talk about is the liver. When you're starting to accumulate some damage to your liver, the early stages is called fatty liver. You have to cease from alcohol for about 2 to 6 weeks to resolve this. If this isn't resolved, it's going to progress to something a lot worse, scarring of the liver called liver sclerosis, or also liver hepatitis. If it gets to those later stages, you can't fully recover from that, really. You have to completely quit drinking, and you should definitely see a specialist. Make sure you're getting your blood levels checked on a yearly basis to make sure so they can catch what's going on in your body. Second thing I'm going to talk about, the next organ is the heart. You can notice something's wrong with your heart from alcohol abuse when you notice elevated blood pressure over a long period of time. Alcohol, when you're drinking it at the moment, will lower your blood pressure, but chronically over time, you're going to have an increased blood pressure from abusing alcohol. Good thing is, this can also be resolved in about 2 to 4 weeks of abstaining from alcohol. And for the next one, we're going to talk about stomach pain. Like a lot of people, when they wake up in the morning, they need an antacid, or what we call like Tums here. They take those because their stomach is irritated. That's called gastritis. Your stomach doesn't like the pH changing that much, and unfortunately, alcohol can throw off the balance of your gut biome and cause a lot of irritation. But fortunately, the stomach lining can shed and repair itself. This process is also going to take about 2 to 4 weeks, possibly a week or so longer. But for the first four, thankfully, if we take about a month off of drinking, they will completely heal themselves. Uh, Even more lucky for the next one we're going to talk about is the kidneys. People have a heavy day of drinking and they say their kidneys are hurting. It'll be on your lower back here. Fortunately for us, the kidneys do start healing just after a few days of ceasing from alcohol consumption. So a couple days to a couple weeks, the kidneys should be back in action, feeling good again. And the last one is a bit more complicated, but it has to do with the brain. That's why we feel the way we do when we're drinking, is our brain. Every time we drink, our brain is shrinking a bit. We're losing brain mass. We're losing brain cells. We're throwing everything off. That's why you wake up and you kind of feel a bit retarded. You got some brain fog going on. You know, your hands are maybe shaking a bit. You're not as coordinated as you should be. This is the effects of drinking alcohol regularly. And it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks, if you're lucky, to be completely back to normal, meaning no brain fog, you're sleeping well again, you don't have any shakes or anything like that. If you get to the advanced stages, you could have permanent like nephron damage where it's affecting your nerves and you can't really recover from that. So we have to give all our organs a break, give it time to heal. I do a detox protocol, and it's not just from alcohol, it's from all easy dopamine, anything you get free dopamine for that you don't have to work for, whether it's you're addicted to nicotine, addicted to alcohol, addicted to scrolling on social media, addicted to jerking off all day. Can't just sit around and jerk off all day. It's easy dopamine. It's a complete detox. If you guys are interested in this program, either comment detox or reach out to me on all social media networks. It's at Dave's Fitness. Yeah, if you need my help, I'd love to help. It's what I do. Other than that, that wraps up the video. And yeah, good luck to everyone.